Okay, first of all, we have to make the bottom plate design first. Click this part to make a square shape. Use Smart Dimensions to resize the sides of the square to 200 mm times 200 mm. Okay, then make a circle right in the middle of the top side of the square. Set the size of the circle using Smart Dimension to 100 mm. Then delete unnecessary lines using Trim Entities. Click the corner rectangle to make the wheel on the left first. Resize it using Smart Dimensions to 80 mm times 40 mm. Use Trim Entities again to remove unnecessary lines. Change the size of the side to 80 mm. Automatically the side below will be 40 mm. Make several small circle shapes on the surface of the bottom plate design drawing of the robot for a place to assemble the robot components later. While making the shape of small circles, also set the size using the Smart Dimension as usual according to the size that has been set like this. Don't forget to adjust the position of the small circles on each side of the plate so that it is neat and precise for mounting the components. Use mirror entities to trace the left side of the wheel to the right so that they are exactly the same. Click Mirror About. Select Right Plane. OK. And the result is the same as the one on the left. Click Trim Entities to remove this line. Click Features, then use Extrude Boss. Change the thickness of the bottom plate design to 2 mm. And then a hockey robot bottom plate design was created. The second, we make the top base of the hockey robot. Click this part to make a square shape. Use Smart Dimensions to resize the sides of the square to 200 mm times 200 mm. Then delete unnecessary lines using Trim Entities. Click the corner rectangle to make the wheel on the left first. Resize it using Smart Dimensions to 80 mm times 40 mm. Use Trim Entities again to remove unnecessary lines. Resize it using Smart Dimensions to 80 mm times 40 mm. Use mirror entities to trace the left side of the wheel to the right so that they are exactly the same. OK, and the result is the same as the one on the left. Click Trim Entities to remove this line. Make several small circle shapes on the surface of the bottom plate design drawing of the robot for a place to assemble the robot components later. While making the shape of small circles, also set the size using the Smart Dimension as usual according to the size that has been set like this. Use Smart Dimensions to resize the sides. Don't forget to adjust the position of the small circles on each side of the plate so that it is neat and precise for mounting the components. There are more holes in the top robot base than the bottom robot base because more hockey robot components will be installed on the top base. Click Features, then use Extrude Boss. Change the thickness of the bottom plate design to 2 mm. And the top robot base design has been completed. Third, we make auxiliary wheels. Use the top line as usually. Make a circle shape right at the center point. Use Smart Dimensions, then resize it to 15 mm. Make a small circle right next to the main circle. Set the size to 3 mm. Use mirror entities to duplicate the tiny circle. Click right plane. And the result will be the same as this. Click Extruded Boss. Change the thickness to 12 mm. Select Boss Extrude 1. Click Sketch 1. Set the thickness size to 5 mm. For circles on either side, change to 9 mm. Rotate it. Click this. Select Sketch. Recreate a smaller circle shape inside the smaller circle. Set the size to 2 mm. Use the mirror entities again to equalize it to the left. Select right plane. Click Features. Extrude Cut. Change this to 4 mm. Rotate it. Click Fillet. Select the circle. Resize to 1 mm. Select Sketch. Make a circle in here. Select Features and click Extrude Boss. OK, rotate this. Click Fillet. Change to 7.10 mm. Rotate this again. And finally, the auxiliary wheel design was completed. Next, the fourth, we make a spacer. Make a hexagon shape right at the center point. Click Smart Dimension and change the size to 5 mm. Click Features and select Extrude Boss. Resize the thickness to 3 mm. And then resize it to 5 mm. Rotate it. Click the hexagon. Select Sketch. Create a small circle inside the hexagon. Make the size to 3 mm. Click Features, then select Extrude Boss. Make the size to 3 mm. Click the hexagon and select Sketch. Make another small circle on the other hexagon. Change the size of the small circle to 3 mm. Click Features. Select Extrude Cut. Then we change the color of the spacer. Select Body. And finally, the spacer design has been completed. The fifth, we make a battery holder design. Select center rectangle to make a square shape right at the center point. Use Smart Dimensions, set the size to 80 mm times 35 mm. Click this, change the size to 1 mm. Then make an obtuse corner point like this. Click Features and select Extrude Boss. Resize here to 18 mm. Rotate it. Select the fillet. Click the surface and base of this block shape. Change the size to 1 mm. Use Installer 3D. Rotate it. Click the rectangle, select Sketch. Click Sketch 2. Use the center rectangle to make a smaller rectangle inside this main rectangle. Select Extrude Cut. Change the size to 3 mm. Zoom it, click this and select Sketch. Click Sketch 1. Make a smaller rectangle again. Click Smart Dimension and size it to 1.80mm x 1.80mm. Click Features, select Extrude Boss, resize it to 5mm. Rotate it, click this, and then Extrude Boss. Change the size to 3mm, and this one change to 4mm. Then we change the color of the battery holder to black. Finally, making the battery holder design has been completed. Next, we making the design of nut and bolt. We make the nut design first. Create a circle right at the center point. Change the size to 3mm. Make a hexagon. Change the size to 5mm. Click Features and select Extrude Boss. Resize it to 3mm. Then, we will change the color of the nut to black. The nut design has been completed. Now we continue to make bolt. Make a circle right at the center point. Resize it to 3mm. Click Features and select Extrude Boss. Change the size to 8mm. Click this, then select Sketch. Make another circle in the middle of the previous circle with a bigger size. Change the size to 5mm. Click Features and select Extrude Boss. Resize it to 2mm. Click Fillet. Then select Boss Extrude to. Resize it to 1.50mm. Rotate it. Click this, then select Sketch. Make a rectangle here. Resize it to 0.30mm and 3.50mm. We create the rectangle here with the same size but position it vertically. Click Extrude Cut. Change this size to 1.50mm. We change the bolt color to black, then it's done. Our next step is to make the hockey robot assembly part 1. We first add the bottom base of the robot to the new SolidWorks page. Click Insert Components. Then we add auxiliary wheels. Click Insert Components again, then add more auxiliary wheels because we need 2 auxiliary wheels. Rotate it. Click the auxiliary wheels, then select it. Click this. Make access between the auxiliary wheels and the holes for the auxiliary wheels on the robot plate provided so they can be connected. Do the same for the second auxiliary wheel. Click the auxiliary wheels. Connect it to the bottom plate of the hockey robot before. Click Insert Components. Add auxiliary wheel bolts. We add about 4 auxiliary wheel bolts. We use the 4 auxiliary wheel bolts to attach the 2 auxiliary wheels to the bottom plate of the hockey robot. Okay. Next, Add bolts for other components. We need these bolts, about 4 bolts. The same as when installing the auxiliary wheel bolts, this bolt is also given access first to make it easier to install the bolts on the bottom plate of the robot. So, the hockey robot assembly part 1 has been completed. Let's just continue assembling the robot hockey part 2. Insert components. Add battery holder. We position the battery holder here. Click mount. OK. Click layout. Then click the battery holder. Remove the distance between the battery holder with this one bolt. OK. Click insert components. Add a DC motor mount. Position it on the right side of the bottom plate of the robot. Click insert components again to add the DC motor mount back. Position it on the left side of the robot's bottom plate, aligning it with the one on its right. Then, add DC motor. Adjust the position of the DC motor first properly. If so, align with the placement of the DC motor installation on the bottom plate of the robot. I choose to position it on the left first. Next, we add a second DC motor. Same as before, first adjust the position of the DC motor properly. If so, align with the placement of the DC motor installation on the right bottom plate of the robot. OK. Connect the two DC motors in their holders. OK. Adjust its position. Do the same for the DC motor on the right. Perfect the placement of the DC motor on its holder. Then tighten. OK. For working on the robot directly, we glue it using hot glue because our DC motor mount uses transparent acrylic. Next, add wheels. Add more wheels. Of course, we use 2 main wheels for robot hockey. Click mount. Connect the left wheel to the left DC motor gearbox. And also connect the right wheel to the DC motor gearbox on the right. OK. Add limit switch. Install the limit switch on the front of the robot plate. Add spacer. Put it in front of the left side. Add more spacer. Next, install all the spacers that have been added to the parts that need it. Next, add top base. Install the top base properly. Next, add Arduino Mega. Position Arduino Mega on the robot. Then add motor driver. Then install the bolts again. Tighten all bolts. Add more bolts. Next, robot hockey assembly part 3. Add nut. Add more nuts. Maybe we need some nuts. Attach the nuts one by one to the bolts as fasteners to the components that have been installed. Add nuts again. Add more nuts to tighten the bolts on the bottom of the plate. Tighten all the nuts on each bolt. Okay. Add spacer. And we need some more spacers for robot hockey improvement. Install all the spacers on the part of the robot that needs it. After that, add robot wings. Place the robot wings on the two spacers that are installed with the top position. Attach the wings to the spacers. Use nuts to secure the robot wings that have been attached to the two spacers. Screw the nut as tightly as possible. Next, coloring robot hockey. For my group, we use plain black stickers. Next, add two limit switch. Then, add IR receiver. Okay, finally I'm finished it. Thank you guys and see you, goodbye.